the same thing. We do our I lift thing like it's, part of our shtick in the morning now. All right. Welcome back. I
Hi,
feel like I
everybody.
haven't seen you in a while, and it's
Maybe
probably been a couple of weeks. Did we record? Oh yeah, we recorded a week or so ago. That's
maybe,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Because
think it was a weekend recording.
we did a couple sessions on the Saturday. That's right.
Yeah, but that was about a week and a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's new?
I'm golfing well. We were talking upstairs about golf, and I forgot to tell you, I played Usher's Creek.
I don't know where's that.
It's
Oh,
at the
at
Legends.
the yeah.
It's in great shape, but we played it at like 7 in the morning. I hate 7 in the morning golf. Like anybody that invites me to go play golf, I'll go
Oh
play
yeah, you
golf
were
pretty
playing
much
with
anytime
Mark.
with Mark, and it is too damn early. I gotta get up at 5:30 in the morning to go golfing. By the time I get off the course, it's like 11 o'clock. I want to go to bed again. I am so tired. Like, and it was
You guys do
so.
18?
Oh yeah, it's been so hot. Listen, if your lawyer or your accountant ever invite you out to play golf, don't go because they're going to be so much better than you. It's actually quite embarrassing.
Is he that good?
Oh, oh my, like him and I hit the ball about the same length.
But his
But
placement?
his placement is ridiculous, and
Is it the putting also?
no, you know who's a better putter than Mark? His brother. His brother is probably the best putter I've ever played with. Like if it was 10 feet, he didn't miss.
What?
Yeah, like we were joking because I said to him on the course, I said, "Hey, like, how much did you spend on that driver? 900 bucks." He goes, "No, it was 8." I'm like, "For a driver?" He's like, "Yeah, but think about how many times you use it on a round. Guys will go out and spend 700 bucks on a driver, not even blink an eyelid, knowing that you can only use it 14 times in a
Oh, you said
game."
putter.
Putter, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, his
800
putter.
bucks on a
eight
putter?
hundred bucks on a putter. Yeah, I was mystified. Now, having said that, he probably only made 25 putts in the whole day out of 18 holes. He did not three putt. The majority of his greens were one putts.
Wow.
He was lights out good. Like I was
So did you guys do
mind
stroke
boggling.
play?
Oh yeah, we always play stroke play. It
And
wasn't.
who won?
He shot 79 at Usher's Creek. I shot 92,
Hmm.
and I
What
didn't
did
hit.
Mark
I
shoot?
didn't hit. Oh, just kicked the thing. 91.
Oh,
Yeah. So, no, sorry, no, 81.
okay.
Yeah, they're both really,
So they're
really
they're
good.
like couple strokes depending on the day,
Oh yeah,
depending on whatever.
yeah, 100%. And it was, kind of prefaced it with the guys and said, "Listen, I'm not in your league.
Uh-huh.
Like, so if you think that I'm going to come out here and we're going to get out of here without me losing a few balls, you're crazy." And it led me to a conversation. Actually, I think I had it with somebody about golf on the weekend, and I said, "You play to the people you play with."
I can see that.
So if you're playing with somebody that's really, really good, you are super uber focused to get,
Yep.
and play up to
Mhm.
their. Or if you're playing with that guy that shoots 120 and you're out there for beers, like you're not.
I I definitely get that. Just because 'cause I've only started getting into it, like, I don't know, the last 2 years, pretty much 2.5 maybe? Anyways, and, like, I have friends who, like, I have played with in the past, who, like, I consider at my level of play, and this year, I've been playing well.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been playing well. My problem is anything past 9 holes, I start to get I've only got about 13 holes in me.
Oh,
I've got, like, 4 or 5-ish where I lose focus.
yeah.
So, we ended up playing a few weeks ago on Father's Day, and I was, like we were doing stroke play, and I was, like, 6, 7 strokes ahead of second, 12 ahead of last
Oh, wow.
at the turn. I ended up coming in, like, second or third
Oh, really?
just because. Anyways, but I went and played with a buddy again last week who I was, like to me, I consider him at my level. A couple times we've played the year before. It's coming down to, like, the last hole, coming down to putts to who wins the day,
Yeah.
and I think I beat him by, like, 7 or 8 strokes, like, comfortably,
Okay.
and I was like, "Okay, I gotta start playing with people who are
A little bit
a
better.
little bit better."
So I I I changed the way I my mental approach to the game this year. Last year it was just, whack, 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 whack. This year I have tried to avoid two things on the course: three putts.
Mhm.
So I'm not trying to get in the hole on any given putt anymore unless it's within a few feet.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to leg it up and have that second putt as a gimme.
That's huge. Even
That's
for
huge.
me, like, when I'm going off the tee box, I'm doing
Yeah.
that. I'm thinking, I can't make that turn. I can't make the bend or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I go, if I lay this up here, that sets up shot 2 and like, I'm starting to put a little
Think the game.
I'm starting to think the game, plan it more instead of being like, "Let's just crank this, see where it goes."
Yeah, and the other change I made, because that's a great mentality, is to manage the game. Like, and I don't think enough people really do that.
Yeah.
That being said,
But
avoid
that also happens with putting. Instead of being like, "I'm 16 feet out, maybe I'll make this one,"
yeah, I don't think like that anymore. I
right?
used to.
You lay it up, you go, "If I put myself 3 feet out, I can make this second
Yeah,
putt."
100%. So I did two things. I switched my mentality to the putt for the putting, but I also had this mentality of avoid the blow up hole.
Ooh, yeah.
Avoiding the blow up hole
The
for
one where
me.
you lose 2 balls and you, like, quadruple bogey
Yes.
it.
And for
Just
me, it became a matter of um, kind of this mentality that don't play the hero shot. I was notorious for, screw it, I'm out here, I'm going to try it.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you've got trees in front of you, you're trying to
I can go
thread
over
it
'em.
through. I can go through them, I can go over them.
Mhm,
I'm always going to hit the tree.
mhm.
And if you've ever golfed with me, you'll know that I hit the tree. It could be
You could
nothing.
be in a desert and you'll find
There
the
could
tree.
be no leaves on that tree. I will hit the tree.
You'll hit bark.
Oh, 100%. So I changed those two things, and now I'm finally at the point now where I actually am really, really enjoying the game so much more, because now I'm expecting myself to be in the 80s,
Oh, yeah.
and now I'm pushing to get below 85 on a regular basis. So though I'm kind of pushing my game down a little bit, but two things. I learned those two things, and then I learned my lengths. Learning your distances is huge.
Yeah, I'm still playing that by
Feel?
feel.
Yeah. That was a big thing for me, and it took playing the same course for a year,
Yeah.
because and it's funny because like when I played last week, I was hitting a ball what I thought was my 7-iron
Mhm.
distance, but it's not. It's my 7-iron where I'm used to playing, so it feels different. The air is different. Everything changes. You don't realize how much changes
Interesting.
until you do it on a regular basis like that. So it was kind of a bit of an eye opener,
Or the
because
fairway's not as or it's harder, it's as
harder to
this or
run,
that, you
or
don't yeah, okay.
like,
Interesting.
Whirlpool was wet when
Mm,
we got out there,
clunk.
so you could see when the ball was spinning, the dew coming off of it, so you knew you were losing momentum. But the way Whirlpool's designed is a lot of the greens are hidden in trees. So some of them are exposed, and some are really, really dry and fast, and some they've watered down to slow it down. Getting a pace at Whirlpool is a nightmare on your putting. So yeah,
Interesting.
so that's I've been golfing, prepping for this stupid trip,
Mhm.
which I feel like I'm just, writing check after check after, well, today's version of checks nonstop right
Yeah.
now.
E-transfer, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
whatever it is, I had to go and wire some money today, which was a gong show. But we're like, I mean,
Prepping for the tournament.
the tournament Thursday. That today should be finished up. I should have everything done and organized, save a few things.
Do you think your team's making a run
So
to the top there? Because this
one,
is the home course for you.
yeah, this is our home course. One of my guys on my team has tendonitis in his Achilles, so
Oh,
a lot will depend on how he is in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a
nice
little
no blood,
nervous.
time to
If he
strike.
is, Jay and I are playing really well together right now. Like, we're
Okay.
both shooting high 80s. Um, so scramble's a good thing for us, but who knows? Like,
Mhm.
I could show up and
Just have an off day.
just have an off
Yeah,
day.
you're not hitting anything, you're
I don't go.
slicing.
I don't go to win. I don't take the prizes anyway. But we got some great prizes this year. And some great support for Habitat. It's been fantastic. So we've got uh, a gift bag from Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment with two Raptors tickets in it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, and
no.
they're good. They're 100 level Raptors tickets, from what I've been told. So we've got that, and then we've got a giant fire pit that's almost the size of this table,
Oh, I
A
did see that
propane one
one.
sitting in my
Yep.
office, right now in St. Catharines. Note to whoever wins that, you gotta come and pick it up, I'm not moving it.
How heavy is it?
It's not that it's heavy, it's just it's, like, 4 feet square and then 3 feet or 2 feet tall, so it's massive to pick up and try and carry, and I think it's all assembled, like, I don't think you just take it out of the box. But, that those are some good prizes, but then we got some great, like, raffle prizes, some great ones. 4 charcuterie boards somebody donated.
Mhm.
Like, we got so much good prizes, and then we got a coup I got the putting contest and then some ball toss thing.
Yeah, so how's this putting contest gonna work?
So, it's 3 balls, $5.
Uh-huh.
Most whoever gets the most points
And you max
gets
out at that 30 or
and you
whatever,
max
right?
out at that yeah, 30's max. I've never seen anybody get 30 on one of these things because
Good
of the
luck.
green and, sometimes you're lucky to hit the board at all. So the winner of that gets, 2 rounds of golf. So that's kinda we got 2 sets, yeah, so we get some rounds of golf there for that. And then we have 2 hole-in-one contests for $5,250. $5, when you get up to the green.
Say that again, 5,250?
$5,250
Yeah.
is the prize. If you get a hole in one on that day,
Uh-huh.
and it has to be verified by somebody there. So we have volunteers that are watching, and if you think you got it, they got to walk up and verify that it was a hole in one. For $5 a ball at the two short par threes, and I actually had the course shorten up one of the par threes to make it a little bit
Is it the one right
easier.
by the water?
No, I took that one out of the play. So that's the short one, which is number 7 for us, is like 109 yards,
I think I know
115.
exactly which one you're talking
It's
about.
kind of in the bush,
Yeah, it's right
and
by
then
the is that a road there?
yep, there's a little road there. You tee off by the road, so
Yeah,
that's a short little one.
and that's
Um,
not where the hole in one is?
that's one of the
Okay,
hole-in-ones, and then, the other one is, 15, which was, 167 yards that I had him shorten up for us to about 140 yards, which makes it a
15.
little bit more challenging. So it's, just before the long par 5 coming back.
Is that the one that we had it last year closer to the pin?
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah. So those 2, I took water out of the play, for both of those, and then we got a couple of long drives and stuff. But we've got a lot of good prizes. The tournament winners each get parks passes this year, so $250 worth of, free stuff to do at the Niagara Parks Commission,
Very cool.
which is kinda cool, and that's what the longest drives, get as well. Longest drives and, closest to the pin. I'll get one of those, which has been really, really good. So it's been, doing that stuff, sponsorships, all that. It's fun. It's done. It's over, this week, and then I'm in full blown panic mode for
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 vacay.
vacay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How about
So
you?
it's been an interesting time for you. Yeah, things have been actually pretty good. Um, I've been the opposite. Haven't been panicking as much. Had a few things go well with work.
Yeah,
Golfed, relaxed.
yeah. Jerk.
Yeah, it's been pretty chill.
So when we come back from our vacation, we're back on the 20th or something like that,
Yep.
and then we get into full blown tournament mode because we've got what the Labor Day Shootout, which is an annual tournament that the guys do, and then we do a military foundation one on the Monday after Labor Day,
Mhm.
but we also have. One of my guy's daughters dance one on the Sunday before. So there's this joke going amongst the 3 of us right now that when we come back from vacation, we're going on a golf vacation because like
Oh,
we literally play Sunday, Monday, and then I said to the guys, we should just go up to Wooden Sticks and play a couple extra days up at Wooden Sticks for the night and call it a couple nights.
where's that? Is that in the States?
Wooden Sticks is no, I can't go to the States. Why would I say that? That's mean. Why would you bring that up? That's cold. No, it's Wooden Sticks is up near Uxbridge.
Okay, because
Um
I remember somebody telling me about like a stay and
No,
play.
that is, on Hickory Sticks, I believe is what it's called. It's, just over the Queenston Lewiston Bridge.
Maybe.
It's on a reserve. It's a gorgeous course. Joe Siddle, who calls the Blue Jays games, his brother's the starter there.
Huh.
So
Really?
we've gone there a couple times. It's a great course, great course. Easy to get to, 10 minutes across the border, stay and play you can do there. Peak and Peak's another good one if you wanted to go and do a stay and play
Peak and Peak. That might be the one I was thinking
in
of.
Pennsylvania.
That might be the one I was
That's on
thinking
the
of.
New York Pennsylvania border. We've stayed there in the winter for skiing. They've
Interesting.
got a golf course there, at the top of the hill, and then the ski hills go down off the side of the golf course. It's really, really a
That's pretty cool.
beautiful place, to go and stay. Really cottagey, really, really cool vibe there. Yeah, small
Peak
town
and
in the
Peak. I
middle
gotta
of
write
nowhere.
that down.
Gotta go there. If you and I got a friend who owns 2 condos there, so if you want one, let me know and I'll get her to set you get your her place.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself from not wanting to get good as like Mark and his brother, or like leave the day and be like, I should just give up golf?
Well, every time I hit a good ball or the 2 or 3 guys on the course, we drive down the middle of the fairway. There's an ongoing joke with us going down the fairway that we should quit our jobs and just go and play golf full time. Honestly, I don't have the interest in getting that good at it. I couldn't do the range time. I couldn't
You
do
think they're putting in that much time?
like you would have to get really,
Well, it's an
really
interesting
good.
thing you bring up because it's the stuff that they're doing that people don't see,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's the what did we say? You versus everyone else.
Well, this
That's what
is
golf is, right? Literally, golf is you versus everybody else.
well because you're comparing yourself to them,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted us to talk about today. We had a bit of a tricky um time figuring out what we're going to talk about today,
Yeah.
kind of.
Today was interesting and
But what we
topic.
wanted to talk about today was the comparison trap that business owners, entrepreneurs find themselves in. Um, Partly because everything you can see on social media,
Yeah.
right? Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok,
TikTok,
Snapchat,
whatever it
it is.
is,
Yep.
everywhere you look, somebody in your industry, a colleague, is lights out killing it.
Yep.
To the moon.
Yep.
And I was like, this is a good idea because I had a conversation with a realtor this morning. He's a buddy, a realtor, a client, and we were chatting about a few things. And he mentioned how he's like, everybody wants these $1.3 million listings at my office. And he goes, I want nothing to do with that. That's not the stuff that's moving. He goes, I want these, 350, 400, $500,000 homes.
Yeah.
And we started talking about it. I like this guy. He's got a good outlook, good like head on his shoulders. We get along. And so he's doing a bunch of open houses for other agents in his office. And he's telling them like, this is overpriced. I don't want it. He wants nothing to do with these anything over
Yeah.
800-900. He goes, I don't want to do the open house.
Yeah.
He wants the stuff that's moving.
Well, he wants an opportunity to sell something that
Well, so this
has
is
possibilities.
where the conversation went. I guess. Oh, we were talking about another golf tournament. He goes, do you want to come on whatever in a few weeks to do another golf tournament? And I was like, I'm doing one a few days prior. It's too many tournaments for me.
Yep.
Don't have the stamina. And he goes, yeah, it's for this other agent. But he kind of was talking about how what he's seeing on his end of things is a lot of realtors are they're like what I called a vanity metric was how many listings do you have?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care about how many listings you have. He goes, I want buyers.
Yeah.
He goes, I want the ones who can actually close things. And I just thought that it was such a good topic for today because how often can you find yourself looking, right next to you to say, oh man, they're killing it. They got 12 listings. They got
Well, it's
whatever
funny.
it is.
Optics can be deceiving,
Optics,
right?
yes.
And I can tell you that, when I think we've talked about this when I first got into the business, we used to carry 20 listings.
Like with you.
With me and my partner, like we were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 listings at any given point.
That you guys had or
that
you'd have
we carried, just the two of us.
I got you.
So we had a lot of inventory because we were selling a house every few months.
Right.
Right. Like it was taking months
Yep.
to sell houses. You go to Fort Erie right now, it's 121 days to sell a house over $800,000. Like the numbers are staggeringly bad.
And everybody's got a lot of choice.
Everybody's got a lot of choice, but also at the same time, you have to think like there's a lot of property for sale under 600,000 in Fort Erie right now. There's a lot of options for people who, it's the most affordable place to live in the region right now. And it used to be that way, and it's gone back to the way it was. St. Catharines is the busiest. Fort Erie is the most affordable. Port Colborne used to be, but for years has not been. But
yeah, the downside to Port Colborne is just
so hard to get
access.
to. It is such a pain in the butt to do. You just did what I did.
I just did what you did.
It's such a in the wintertime. It's so astronomically bad.
Yeah.
To get in and out of there. Because one storm can ground you.
I was gonna say, and
happens.
you're not avoiding those
No.
storms.
But like I used to judge myself years and years ago on how many listings I had because we're it's drilled into our head. We need listings to survive. And the reason for that is it can generate buyers, right? When you control the listing, when you control the listings, you start to control the inventory. When you control the inventory, you have more options
Hmm.
to generate business. So I get the guy's mentality. I don't care about how many listings you have, but realistically, even in a buyer's market, you need listings because from listings come buyers. It's that simple. So it's a
Well, it makes sense because that's where he's picking up his
sure.
buyers are at the open houses.
Sure, from other people's listings, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's I don't want anything to do with them. I get it. Like, I don't trust me. There, I competed on a listing a while ago that I lost, and I'm so glad I lost because I would have just been pouring good money after bad. New builds, same thing right now. If you come,
Mm.
I talked to one of my builders last week, and he said, you know, um, we're ready to go. I said, no, you're not. And he said, why? I said, did you look at what you're trying to sell? Like, you guys are trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And I just said to him, I said, we can't sell this right now. What you're doing is something that's never been done in our town, and the consumer's not going to buy it. They're just not going to take it. It's not what our market can bear. So we're back to the drawing board on design again. And I said to them this time, I said, you got to stop trying to let people from Toronto
Dictate.
dictate what you're trying to do here because it doesn't work. It's completely different. So monkey see, monkey do,
Mhm.
right? Mountain View Homes years ago, downtown St. Catharines, and I could be slightly off on some of the on this story, but they tried to build these three-story townhouses in downtown St. Catharines across from the old Hotel Dieu on the corner of
Mhm,
Welland
mhm, mhm,
and
mhm,
Ontario
mhm.
there. They took forever to sell because the consumer
I know which ones you're talking about. They're
the
there
consumer,
now.
yeah, they're there now.
Yep.
They're all built. They're all sold, but they took forever to
Yep.
sell because the consumer wasn't ready for that in the marketplace, right? But they saw it being done somewhere else
Mhm.
and thought that they could bring it here, and failed. We would be doing the same thing in Fort Erie with the same similar project, not the same, but a similar project, where we're trying to do these apartments on top of towns, which is a new concept that I haven't really seen yet.
Apartments on top of
So you
town.
get townhouse, 2 or 3 level townhouses on the bottom, and then an apartment building on top of those towns.
I've never heard of that.
Neither have I. This is the new design that they're trying to push out of Toronto for mixed use, which to me is weird. But if I had a townhouse, I would not want people living on top of me. But again, it's being done in another marketplace, so
Mhm.
the builder then the planners are saying, "Oh, this will work here," and it just doesn't.
It works on paper.
It works on paper, right?
But so this is interesting because the builders are
Doing the same
they're
thing.
doing the same thing. They're looking left and right and they're saying, "Oh, Joe Blow over there is doing this. Looks like they're having success with it. I should do the same."
Yeah.
So, how can a business owner keep themselves focused and
From falling into that trap,
like,
really.
yeah, I guess how do you keep yourself from falling into the trap? And have,
Uh,
have you ever fell into that trap?
Yep. 100%. A couple of times,
I actually think part of falling in that trap is why people make the jump.
oh, 100%. 100%. I think for me, um, when you start a business or take over a business like I did, you wanna try everything. You wanna you know what? Like, you really do have this mentality of, "I'm gonna change the world, and I'm gonna take the best of what is being done out there
Mhm.
and incorporate it into my business," and then you quickly realize that that's not who you are. And I think one of the things that we kind of get away from as business owners is who we are as people. It becomes so much about the business as opposed to the
Person.
person,
Yeah.
right? And
I think
ultimately,
it varies
as
industry
an
to industry,
entrepreneur,
right? Like if
100%.
you're, like we always say, running a food truck, that's about your product.
Sometimes, but you go and look at some of them, watch a successful food truck, and the guy that's doing the calling or the head chef who's having the thing,
A little
like
flair to him.
there's a bloke in London that does a loaded. He's got a loaded potato truck. and he goes around London,
I think I've seen this online.
and the guy is brilliant. Like
He's got like
who
a GoPro strapped to him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and he's always got the customers, and he
yeah.
usually gives out the first one of the day to whoever there's first gets their meal for free, and he records their reactions when he gives
I
it
don't know
to
if
them
I've
for
seen
free.
that.
He's the show. The potatoes all look fantastic. I
Sure.
mean, it's a twice baked potato with all the goods and all that stuff. It's
A
so the
bloke from
quality.
London.
Yeah, look,
Your heritage is showing.
I'm getting into the mode because my family's all like, "Are you going to talk English when you get there?" I'm like, "Well, I'm talking English now. You just, whatever." Anyway, so the guy is the show, right? Like when you go into a really high end restaurant and they've got a chef's table in the kitchen, right? The chef
Mhm.
is the show, so it can be both,
Fair.
but realistically, you try to find your niche, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes you bring in other people's stuff to try and find your niche. One of the local brokerages turned video on its side in real estate. They built their whole brokerage around that brand or that material, right?
Sure,
So
like that value add or whatever
that
you want.
value added, whatever you want to call it, they did that, and it then they took off. But you have to have the right people for it,
Mhm.
right? So again, you see this now where all of a sudden, and I will use actually, you know what? Better example: billboards in this region.
Billboards.
Billboards.
Okay.
Okay, you versus everybody else. There was a realtor in Niagara that you couldn't go anywhere in Niagara without seeing his face on a billboard.
Okay, but he's more based.
He's not even a local, really. Well, he's a Niagara
He's
Falls.
up the highway.
He really is a Niagara Falls guy. He went to Stanford in Niagara Falls. He went to school with Sue. At the same, I don't know about the same time, but they're a couple years apart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But roughly the time that he was really taking his team off,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you saw the local Royal LePage brokerage, another brokerage independent. They all started doing billboards. The billboard companies were making a fortune.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing it because he was doing it. Right now, there's another guy from the same market coming in here doing the same thing right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
about 5, 7 years later, trying to get the same effect. Do you think it's having the same effect? Do you think that team has grown exponentially
No,
the
I
same
think
way?
you kinda get lost in the sea of it.
Right. And I think that's one of the things when you follow and instead of being true to yourself.
Yeah, I also think sometimes people forget that not everybody has the same starting point.
What do you mean?
So, I think about like, when I think of people in my industry,
Okay.
right, and you go, "Oh, man, somebody so and so had really good success really quickly." And then you're like, "Hmm, what did they do that's different? Or what happened to them that was unique?" And then you hear a little bit more about them and you hear, "Oh, they previously ran their own businesses. Oh, they previously were investors." Or, "Oh, their family has been involved in organized real estate for 2 generations," or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you go, "They've seen this for a while," or they ran their own businesses. They've made mistakes. They've stumbled already. They quote unquote failed a handful of times.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you have to go, ah, we've got different jump off points,
Oh, 100%. I
right?
get you. Yeah.
You're jumping off the Brock Tower. I'm jumping off starting blocks for the swimming. You know what I mean?
Yes. I do know what you mean. Do you think, though, that that has as much impact as the work ethic, the drive,
No,
like,
but I
or
think
is that
that
the
I think it's
perception?
a perception thing where you're going, oh man, how did they kill it so quick? And you're like, they were already used to doing something, maybe.
I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. And I think in my industry, we as broker owners get caught in this. Okay.
Mm,
Agent count.
right.
Okay.
It's a vanity metric.
It's a vanity metric because at the end of the day, I would take, and I don't know, when I'm super, super frustrated with my business,
Mhm,
my joke is always, I'm going to pick the top 5 producers, fire everybody, and
mhm.
start a small independent brokerage again. Because now I know how to do that part of it. Um, I have a number like that we artificially cap at. in our brokerage,
Yep.
and I won't go much beyond that unless it's a good thing.
Self-imposed cap.
But like it is self-imposed. It's very much self-imposed. But when you look at a lot of advertising that broker owners do, they talk about the size and they'll say, oh, we've got 300 agents. Now we're 500 agents.
Mhm.
Now we're 600 agents. Well, that's great. But if only 50, 60, 70 of them are producing and the others are just bodies in chairs, they're not really agents,
Yeah, and
right?
it also dilutes how much they get access to the people at the top.
Oh, 100%.
Or how much time you can
One
get.
of my biggest beefs is, and I said this when I interview agents, I say, one of the things that you need to be cognizant of is how fast can you get to the broker record? Because ultimately you can have all the management people underneath the broker record, but if you're in a pinch, you need to talk to the broker record. And if you've got 500 or 600 agents underneath you
Vying for his time.
vying for your time, even if half those agents needed him in a give, or her, I shouldn't just
Mhm.
do it that way. Even if 200 agents needed you in a week, 5 minutes an agent.
Yeah.
Half your week is gone just trying to solve that. And that's 5 minutes an agent. Rarely is a call 5 minutes, right? So we have these arbitrary numbers as opposed to a metric that I like to use that that really keeps me away from you, from everyone else. Mentality is something called PAP, okay, which is a horrible acronym, but per agent productivity.
Okay.
So how many deals on average does your brokerage do per agent?
How
Many
effective are they?
It's an efficiency quota, right? Like it is the ability to look at it and say, okay, listen, we did 608 deals last year, but we had 200 agents. Now we're at X, right? But if I do those 600 with 70 agents, my agents are more productive.
Mhm.
My agents are happier because they're making more money. I'm making more money. So stop focusing on what other people are doing and focusing on the people that you have and helping them grow their business. Right. I think we get caught in we talked about big shiny objects one of the sessions, right? We get caught in that as entrepreneurs.
Yep. There's something
Right.
you want to do, something you want to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay. East Indian food in Niagara Falls right now. Okay.
Yep.
You, up until a couple years ago, couldn't really get a lot of good quality
Mhm.
East Indian food, right? There was a couple. There was an Afghan place. There was,
Mhm.
you can't go a street in Niagara Falls anymore,
Yeah.
without finding at least one, if not two. I mean, Queen Street in Niagara Falls has got 3 Indian joints on it now.
Mhm.
They're all different.
Mhm.
They're all good,
Mhm.
but they're all gravitating to downtown. If you ever notice, most of the Indian joints are in the Victoria, Queen Street, downtown area. They seem to be gravitating to one another
As opposed to spreading themselves out, one on
themselves.
Lundy's Lane, one
Right.
on Clifton
Yeah. So
Hill or something.
they're all slightly different, right? So the place
Same
across
thing
the
near me. The other day, a few months ago, somebody was like, because my parents were talking about getting shawarma. As we have shawarma by us, my dad's like, really? And I was like, actually, I think I have 6 within a
God.
kilometer.
Shelby is supposed to be one of the best ones around. We
It
got
is.
one. Is it?
Yeah.
So we got one in the falls, and I keep driving past it and saying, I gotta get shawarma. I gotta get shawarma.
That's how the conversation came up.
I'm a shawarma. I love shawarma. This is a sidebar, but my family does not like shawarma, and I don't know why.
We've got.
Do you like lamb or chicken?
Oh, I want the mixed grill. I want all the different
Okay.
meats.
Oh, nice. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we've got about 1, 2.
On Hartzell Road, you got
In Hartselle, there's
2
2.
that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one in Pendale Plaza.
Yeah.
There's Shelby's.
Where's Shelby's down? Oh, down by Burger King.
Down by Burger
Yep.
King.
Yep.
And then Osmo's opened up by Sobeys.
Osmos. I haven't tried that. Is that any good?
I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
good.
We got one in Fort Erie too.
I've had that one.
Yeah.
I've had tahinis.
I was gonna say, have you tried them all? For me, shawarma is one of those. Yeah, like I love ethnic food. I can eat. I'm so excited to go to Europe and be able to try. Jordan's boyfriend crushed me for Slovakia. He said, "You're gonna get the burgers because the burgers are so good that you won't want to eat anything else."
Really?
Yeah, he said Slovakia's burgers were out of this world. So I kind of said, I'll find a burger
that's gonna
joint.
be all the food over there.
I have a feeling it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, you're gonna get eggs and you're gonna be happy.
But back to it, I think that there are ways to prevent yourself from doing that, doing this you versus everyone else situation. And I think usually what it comes down to is numbers. And when you dial in your numbers and you realize what you're doing and figure out what your effectiveness is, it becomes a lot easier to put on the blinders. And I think in business, as much as you've got to be aware of everything that's going around you for trending, for
Mhm.
demographics, for all that stuff, when it comes to your product, I think sometimes you've got to put on blinders and say, here's where we are good. Here's our niche.
Okay.
Here's the service that we bring to the table, and not worry about what everybody else does. Because in my business and your business,
Mhm.
billboards don't bring
You
business.
don't see them.
You don't see
Okay,
them.
but here's the flip side playing devil's
Oh,
advocate.
flip side. Okay.
I think there's a positive aspect to it
Okay.
in that because we have access to so many people in our like you can pick up your phone, you can find 1,000 realtors
Yep.
who have built their businesses each in a different unique manner, each specializing in something different, call it
Sure.
whatever. I think you've got a blueprint in front of you.
Okay, so do you think that it's the whole thing, or do you think so? I think if you're going to go down that avenue, I think I would look at it and say, I'm going to pull the parts that I want,
Mhm.
that I'm comfortable with, and try to incorporate portions of it. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, but I think that some people can use that as a motivation and
Oh,
and like a blueprint to say, ah, so and so does this, 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 and that. They're having success with that. I wonder if I was to try doing this, 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 and that, if that would work for me.
does it not worry you that you don't see the whole picture though? And that's always my concern, because you always see, with the two billboard realtors, right?
I think it depends on the people.
I think it's your team surrounding you, which is another subject that we're gonna
Mhm.
we're gonna broach. I think that you have to be aware of the fact that if you try to copy,
Mhm.
you know, it's flattery to a certain extent, but at the same time is, if that person's doing A, B, C, and D, that may be the recipe. But if you only said, I'm going to do B and C and try and interject that in between E and F for you, it may not work, right? You
Yeah,
never, because you don't see the whole picture.
I think that's part of
Sometimes
it though,
that's the
because you
danger.
also mentioned about the people around you. So since started working with Sue a few years ago,
Okay.
we've had a lot of moments where something would be brought up, marketing strategy, mortgage tactic, something along those lines, where myself and somebody else would see something online or something else was shown to us somewhere else, and we go, "What do you think of this?" And this still continues, where I go, "Hey, I saw something like this. Poke holes in this." Where I go, like, "Show me the angle that I'm missing,"
Yep.
which I think is really fun. In the beginning, it was like, "Guys, that doesn't work the way you think it does,"
Right.
and it's all smoke and mirrors and blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. And then you go, "Okay," you start to see it for what it is. But there's been a few times in the last few months where I go, "Hey, I'm seeing a lot of this strategy or this or that. Poke holes in my thought process on this." And I go, "Here's what I'm thinking. Follow my trail. What do you see wrong with this?" Because sometimes when you get an idea, you get tunnel vision, you get blinders, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
"This is
This is the greatest thing
this
or
is
the
the
worst
greatest
thing.
thing," right? And you might not foresee some issues or like some hiccups or something that's not as easy as you might think.
Okay. Yeah.
And I go, "Poke holes in this." And because I trust the people around me, trust the people I work with,
Yeah.
it becomes a big like brainstorming session to say,
I love brainstorming
"Sure,
sessions.
they're fun."
Yeah.
But it's like and it like a conversation starts like, "Oh, you can't do this because of that," and then you go, "Well,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah." So that's the flip side. I think that
Hmm. That's it's interesting because, like, to me, and I think
I don't think you guys get that as much on your side.
we don't,
I
because mm, we have a very specific
Your
product.
the world you work in is very defined.
Very, very much so. From compliance to legislation to you name it. But also we sell houses,
Yeah.
okay? But we don't really sell the house. This is the mentality that I have. The house sells itself
Mhm.
in the perspective of I can put 20 buyers in front of a house
And
and
if it's gonna sell, it's gonna
10 of
sell.
them are gonna look at it and go, "I don't like the curb appeal," walk away. 10 are gonna inside the front door and go, "I don't like the," or go inside the front door. 5 of them are gonna walk away because they don't feel like the mojo is good in the house. They don't like the flow, they don't like the layout.
Mhm.
And then 5 are gonna really narrow it down and go, "Oh, yeah, I like this and this and this,
They can
but I don't
see
like this."
past
They can
that.
see past it, right? So you have ability when you're selling a house is you gotta get it exposed to so many people, right? The house selling houses is about exposure of the product, right? And that's why you see all of these, brokerages and realtors and teams just literally everywhere, right? And it's not necessarily a good thing because you're just I like the expression, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it
Mhm.
sticks, right? As opposed to saying, okay, you know what? I know the demographic that lives in this neighborhood. I'm going to go and find similar neighborhoods and market to those neighborhoods because if they live in a neighborhood like that, the likelihood is they'll want to move to a similar neighborhood. Not many people say, you know what? I don't like where I live. Most people say, I don't like my house. Right, when you're in subdivisions from subdivision to subdivision. They don't like this, they don't like that, they don't have they don't like the yard, whatever the
Mhm.
metric is that that person is using. So, I think sometimes when you get into those situations where you we have this product, we have to sell it, we're selling ourselves as much as we are selling a product. We're selling our service, where you guys aren't.
That's definitely true because when I talked to the guy this morning,
Yeah,
he was talking about how at the open houses, one of the buyers he picked up, they were sort of working with an agent,
yeah,
but they go, "He's too," or they, I don't know if it was a he or she. They're like, "They're too pushy. They're too this. They're too that.
yeah,
They're not giving us the service level that we kind of
uh,
were expecting."
yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, we." He just chatted with them,
You just jived with them.
just jive with them,
Yep.
and they were like, "Can we use you?" And he was like, "You sure can."
Yeah,
Whatever this,
and
but
yeah,
the
as long
reality is yeah, you guys, it is very much a personality match with people,
yes,
and
very
I've
much.
I've noticed that's a lot of what this is even when you guys on your end are trying to send a client to a mortgage person, you're probably trying to match up personalities
For the most part, yeah.
because there are people who demand, not demand, there are people who expect certain things.
Yeah.
There are people who are going to have a lot of questions for you,
Yep.
and you have to be able to match the personality of the person who can explain it in a way that they're gonna, you
I agree.
know what I mean?
And we have to we so one of our things is about how we refer out people, right? Like we're not supposed to single source refer, which to me
Right.
is just a load of government crap, but whatever. Um, I have 3 home inspectors that I typically use, and believe it or not, the consumer and the personality of the consumer drives which home inspector I want.
I can see that.
I used to work with a home inspector. I won't mention any names, but they were very black and white. It was,
Mhm.
buy this house, don't buy this house. This house is crap. This house is great. This house should be torn down. This house should stay kind of mentality, right?
This should be
I
torn
actually
down.
the home inspector actually told my client once that the house should be torn down. And I looked at him and said, you're out of your mind. Like, come on. And that because I don't think that's their job. Their job is to report and not
Yes.
provide
Let's just
kind of
provide facts,
opinion,
not an opinion.
facts, right? But same thing with a lawyer, right? Like if I've got
Yeah.
a client that really needs hand holding, there's certain lawyers that will never get in the business because they're going to have that phone call on a Saturday afternoon and be like, the lawyer's going to say, I'll give you my cell phone if anything comes
Yep.
up. And they're going to need that phone call. They're going to need that reassurance. They're going to need whatever it is from the lawyer. And if it's a lawyer that's in the office Monday to Friday,
9 to
don't
5.
bug me. That's not likely going to be the lawyer that's going to get business. Lenders or mortgage agents the same way
Yeah.
in the big three. Like it comes down to personality matches. You're playing a dating game, really,
Mhm.
like because you're going to be dating these people short term, right? You may not. You may have to do 2 or 3 home inspections. You never know, right? Like you could buy and sell with this lawyer, on a deal. You could, use that lawyer again years down the road. Same thing for financing. You may take a 1 year and have to go back into from private to
Sure.
B to A, right? So you want to compare them to, knowing the situation and the person, et cetera, et cetera. So I just think that, we get caught in this mentality of, I have to appease everybody.
Hmm.
And how do I do that? And I do that by trying to do what other people are doing. And I don't think that we're doing that. I think in a lot of cases when you're doing it that way, you're doing it for yourself. Right. Like the me versus everyone else. Like I compare my brokerage to my spreadsheet and my
Well,
accounts.
and that's, I think, the crux of this all is comparing yourself to those around you is good.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be times when it kills your mindset because you're going, "Oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing it good enough. I'm not doing it efficiently enough." And there's going to be times when you can use it as fuel for the fire.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I think all that matters when you're really looking at these metrics is like, what do you want out of it? And is what you're building align with what your goals are
Or who you are.
or who you are?
Yeah.
Like if you're a guy who wants to, or a girl who wants to work 15, 16, 17 hours a day, and you're like, I got to do $1 billion of business,
Yep.
whatever it is,
Yep.
you might be different than somebody who's like, hey, I'm just retired from my job nursing for 40 years. I'm a realtor now. I have some time. Like it's very different. Like,
Yeah, and I think with any small business, entrepreneurial business, it is that mentality of, what, like you're not going to know until you're into it,
mhm.
and you really have to be careful to not let your psyche get ruined by others.
So avoids time on social media or what?
Well, I don't know if you got to avoid time on social media. You just
I would
gotta.
say yes if it's killing your psyche.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's social media. Like you can go anywhere and see, so for me in the MLS, I can look and see how many brokerage A and how many deals brokerage B's done, and you start to get into this this
Mm.
comparison shopping of, their successful, what their level of success is and what you perceive
Mhm.
their level of success to be, and you get kind of trapped in it, and you say, "Oh, I got to be as good as them. I got to be as good as them." When you could just be really great at what you're doing is so much easier, and cherry pick what you need.
Yeah, and also revenue's not necessarily
Revenue does not equal profit. I
right.
don't know. I, this perception out there that, everybody says, "Oh, realtors make so much money." Oh boy, man, we we make a good living,
Sure.
but we pay out through the nose to get what we do, right? Like when you think about it, a good photography is $1,000,
Mhm.
750 to $1,000.
Yeah.
That's right off the top. You haven't sold anything yet, right?
Yeah.
So, and so again, that goes back to, what is everybody else doing? Well, everybody's doing video now, so we got to do video, or everybody's doing drone, so we got to do drone. And that just keeps escalating the cost as opposed to saying, you know what? I've got 500 buyers that I've worked with over the years in my company. I'm going to call each one of them and see if they're in the market for a property, and go to the people that I know trust us, buy with us, work with us, and go and approach them directly as opposed to trying the big shiny new object
Mhm.
of a video or whatever the case may be. Relationship building, right? So, maintaining, building, and growing relationships.
So to keep the comparisons from killing yourself, just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, listen. If you get to the point where you can survive in a business for a certain amount of time, you're doing something right. Right? Tweak it. Like you may see something new that comes out TikTok, and I don't know if we talked about the girl in Texas that does all the amazing Instagram videos where
No,
she goes and previews houses and tells funny stories with them. She's done the mafia sitting, the Godfather
no, I
sitting at
haven't
the
seen
table.
these.
Oh, you got to find her, you got to follow her. The last one I saw was hide and seek. So the house was so big, she said, "This is the kind of house that I would love to bring kids to and go play hide and seek." And she took a kid and went and played hide and seek in this house and videoed the whole experience. She's done some She does some great videos, but she does it with a flair of humor. Well,
Mhm.
now all of a sudden there's a bunch of people in the States that are doing,
That thing.
similar things. And she's that breaker. She's that person who did it first. So she's the person I will watch the other nonsense. I will watch
Her.
her because
She's the
she's the OG, right? So I like that, but you know what? Like it was original. What she did was not something that I would have ever thought of doing, nor would I go out and do it because it's not my style, right? Like I'm not that guy. But a bunch of people in the States now following her, doing the same sort of shtick, and it really doesn't. It has to suit you
Yeah.
as well as the consumer, right? Like I'm not a photogenic guy. I don't like being in photos, right? So to me, when I do that, it's awkward to me. So do I want to be there standing in a video, doing a video in front of a house? No, it's not my thing.
Yeah, you also probably don't have time to.
Well, that's different. I come down to video studios and hide behind microphones. It's way easier.
Way easier. Okay.
All right, that's a wrap for today. Next time we're going to talk about when you know it's time to hire help. Get your mind thinking on that one. All right, peace out.
Bye.